the exes are calling you, hang up and block. You don't know who the hell they are. You don't owe them a conversation. Welcome back, warriors, to another treacherous episode of Psychopath Exposure. My name is Kita. If you're new to the channel, please keep in mind this is a Psychopath Exposure anti-narcissist community. That's right, we expose toxic people. We talk about toxic relationships, how we got entangled with predators that distorted our reality and left us to rot while they went ahead, found another target, and did the same thing. Today, I am taking a question from Nasli. Hi, Kita. I've ended the toxic madness 3 months ago. Congratulations. My ex-narc hoovered me a week ago, but I quickly ran from it. My email to you is to kind of do a video on the aftermath residue of an ex-relationship with a narc, which is, up until yesterday, I still experience calls and messages from his current ex and supplies. I feel some days that it's going to take quite a while to get my peaceful, balanced life. Kind regards, Nasli. Thanks for sending that in. Great question. This happens to everybody. You're not alone in this. 3 months is really not a long time, but believe me, once you've been discarded or you've separated from a psychopath predator, every day that passes is a huge victory, and you should definitely be celebrating and writing down on your ticker and counting the days that you've been separated from this narcissist. Obviously, if you're going no contact, that's even better. That's when you really should have like boxes on a whiteboard somewhere and you check it every day, because that's how you grow in strength. But just the fact that you have been, that you ended the relationship, that's a big step. Many people stay in the entanglement and they don't know how to get out, and years go by and they're like, God damn, how am I still in this, right? So congratulations on that. But let's talk about the hoovering. You told me that they hoovered you about a week ago and you ran away from it. Awesome. Very, very good. But there's residue left, right? To use your words. And there is. Anytime you separate yourself from anything that's toxic, could be even drugs. You get off things like that, and there's gonna be a nasty residue. You're just not cleansed overnight, and life is good. It comes with withdrawal symptoms. The brain craves that drug. It craves that chemical. Okay, so you're dealing with trauma when you separate from a narcissistic entanglement. You have that trauma that the brain is used to. You're in a perpetual nightmare. You're in a rumination, this obsessive compulsive thought pattern that you can't really escape. And even though you're not together with a person, which means they're not inflicting harm on you per se anymore in reality, you're harming yourself through the thoughts, because remember, the thoughts create an emotion, and then the brain can't tell the difference whether it's actually happening or if it's in your head. Once the emotions are triggered, you can go into a panic attack right away, and it feels just like if you're drowning from a past experience in your childhood maybe. It's great that you didn't take the bait, but it's crummy that his exes are contacting you. Okay? That, if anything, that shows more evidence that this person was a total piece of shit. Okay? But the fact that the current supplies and all these people are contacting you, I hope that you're blocking them immediately and you're not responding to them, because that's going to set you back pretty much into day zero, like I like to call it. You may have 3 months of freedom, and then one of his exes contacts you and tells you all this nonsense and tells you in detail all this junk that he did or she did or whatever, and you're going to spiral right back down to day zero. And you have to start all over again. Your day is ruined, okay? Forget about sleeping, depending on the severity of your anxiety. And that fear and that panic comes back. Now you start thinking, oh man, this person's calling me. They're gonna call me again. Maybe the narcissist is gonna call me tonight. Maybe the narcissist is gonna show up tomorrow because his ex is contacting me. Oh my God, there's all this chaos and all this dramas going on. You don't need that. That's not part of the recovery plan. That's not part of the strategy. So when I say no contact, when I say go no contact, if you don't have kids, if you're not if you're not married to this person, you don't have kids, if you don't have anything like that, if you're actually free, there's absolutely no reason why you should have any contact with her through social media, through email, through texting, nothing. The fact that he hoovered you, I mean, you didn't exactly tell me, you didn't tell me how they hoovered you, so I'm not going to make any assumptions here, but they usually find a way to weasel themselves back in. If you left just a crack in that door open, they'll find a way to contact you through a fake number, through something, and you really need to develop that willpower to not answer, to notice, oh, this is a private number, I'm not going to take this call. Oh, this is a fake Instagram account, I'm going to leave that in that tab where people request, and you can just block it and they don't know that you saw it, and you just delete it and you block it. You have to do that. You have to actively do things that are going to serve you, not defeat you. Okay? So the exes are calling you, hang up and block. You don't know who the hell they are. You don't owe them a conversation. When a telemarketer calls you, come on, at this day and age, do you really sit there and you have a conversation? Or should I, not this way, right? It's this way. Do you really sit there and you have a conversation with a telemarketer now? Or a scammer? You don't, right? The minute you answer that phone and it's a machine or it's a third world country calling you and then there's a scamming, it's a scam, you hang up. Do the same thing. Do the same thing. You don't owe these people a second of your life or of your attention or your energy. You don't owe them anything. And you definitely don't owe the narcissist jack shit. And as far as regaining that peaceful, balanced life that you used to have, look, you went through a very traumatic experience. Anytime you're dealing with a psychopath, predator, or a narcissist, toxic, just borderline, bipolar, alcoholic, addicts. Anytime you're dealing with someone toxic and the relationship ends, you may feel like a huge burden off your shoulders, but you've been damaged. You've been damaged. And going back into that peaceful, balanced life, like you said, your brain doesn't even know what the heck that is. As a matter of fact, sometimes just tasting that makes you feel good temporarily, and then the brain just somehow wants to fight back and go back into the toxic place. And that's why people self-sabotage opportunities too. That's right. You don't have to be a narcissist to self-sabotage your life. Anytime you're trying to reach a higher paradigm, the old paradigm wants to suck you back in. You get a raise at your job, you start earning more money, and you're going to eventually do something or engage in behaviors that's going to put you right back to when you were broke as fuck. And so it takes extreme diligence, extreme hard work, just this determination, this willpower to say, no, I'm done with this life. I'm done with this trauma. I'm going to do whatever I can, whatever I must to move forward. Because life is going to throw, crises at you, one after the other. You're either coming out of a crisis, you're in a crisis, or you're about to experience a crisis. And whenever you're experiencing a crisis, that's life telling you, hey, you got to change. It's time for you to change, and you got to change now. You ain't got time. And that's when you realize, damn, I was given many opportunities in the past to make changes, but I was too scared to do them. And it was easy back then. But now a crisis comes and you're forced to change, and it's like, holy shit. So why wait for a catastrophic situation like that to come when you have the opportunity to do it right now? It sounds to me, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds to me like this person hasn't been completely blocked. And I'm curious how the exes of your narcissist found you and got your contact information. Again, you really have to get rid of and just block anyone that does it. But I'm just curious if they're finding you through social media, how they know who you are and all that stuff. And once you're trying to get out of a situation like this, you have to do your best to distance yourself from the environment where all those people were. If you were dating a narcissist that, for example, was creating like a harem of women, and he was very popular at the nightclubs or at this bar, or you live in a small town and everybody knows him in certain places, you really have to temporarily, for a while, stop going to those places, stop communication with those people, make new friends, because all those people that he's been involved with, all those people are compromised now. They're compromised. He's already planted his seed of doom in them, and probably created flying monkeys out of them, and they're probably on his or her side. I just don't like that his exes are contacting you, and I know what that does. I know that that's going to spiral you back into the shit again. So do your best to keep them blocked. Don't answer. Don't talk to them. Don't entertain what they have to say. It doesn't matter. You lived it. You experienced it. Nobody at this point is going to tell you what you don't already know. None of these exes are going to tell you something you don't already know. It was done to you. It was done to you. So just keep them blocked. Keep moving forward as best as you can. It's definitely going to take some time, but preoccupy your mind with better things, with things that you love, things that you once loved, so you can learn how to love them again, right? So you can give your mind the space that it needs to form brand new connections to better things in your life. Because right now, you're probably operating at a half a brain, and it's ruminating on the fact that you just got hoovered, and you're wondering when it's going to happen again. We don't need that. So let's put that aside. Compartmentalize those situations when they happen. Acknowledge them. Notice that it just happened and say, okay, this is happening because it's part of the process, but I'm not going to focus or put my energy on that thought, right? You're going to acknowledge it. You're going to grab it visually, right? You're going to grab that thought. You're going to put it aside and be like, okay, this is not serving me right now. Back to the present. Back to whatever you're doing. You get a weird phone number. It could be them. It could not. You don't know. You're not going to answer it. If they're not on your contact list, you don't answer it. If somehow one of their exes contacts you, terminate the conversation right away before it becomes a conversation. Breathe. Put it aside. Back to the present. You're not going to let these things disturb your inner peace. And eventually, your inner peace is going to be your outer peace as well. Okay? Thanks again for sending that question. Guys, I have a free ebook that you can download to teach you how to go no contact with these predators. It's easier said than done, but it really is a simple process. And you can download it at the link below in the description. And as always, if you'd like to work directly with me, I do offer a private one-on-one online coaching program where we can get together over Zoom or over the phone and go over this situation and workshop it together to help you guys understand exactly what happened, how to deal with this trauma, how to process this whole thing, rewire the circuitry, put together a plan of action to get you out of that situation and moving back into your life purpose, moving forward far away from this nightmare. So you can turn things around and no longer have to live this way for the rest of your life. Because I know right now it feels like this is forever, but believe me, if you put in the work, things change, and they change for the better. So just feel free to contact me anytime or just click on the link in the description below for more information on that. Hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I will talk to you in the next video.